The following is a collection of witness testimonies recorded by investigators from CUFOS, the Center for UFO Studies, founded and led by Dr. J. Allen Hynek. I've restored and enhanced the audio as well as written a transcript that you can read along with on the video for this episode, available on YouTube. From close encounters and electrical interference to direct communication and a potential crash, these recordings will cover a range of experiences that took place in 1975 over 6 days between April 3rd and the 9th in and around Lumberton, North Carolina. With nearly 80 witnesses, 40 of which being police officers, the official Lumberton report documents a minute-by-minute, witness-to-witness timeline that's so rarely available to UFO investigators, but for all that happened, the Lumberton UFO incident somehow remains one of the most well-documented yet hardly discussed events in UFO history. For more backstory and a full deep dive into all of the events, we encourage you to go back and listen to episodes 86 and 87 of the Black Cat Report. With all that said, we hope you find as much joy and wonder in these tapes as we do. And if you'd like to see more restoration like this, please consider leaving a comment, a like, or just reaching out to us. Now, without further delay, let's hear from the witnesses.
About 4:45 in the morning. Big thunderstorm that night. It was right before the big thunderstorm came through. Of course, it wasn't really rain at the time. The car was to the deal the other morning. It had a row of lights on each side, and one row was green and the other was reddish orange in color. And it had a big spotlight or beacon light, some kind of type of light pointing it up under. Spotlight truck. And was other that made you shining down. And did you see any sort of structure of the object itself? Yeah, it was triangular. So the thing we saw in the newspaper the other day was the thing that you described, right? I didn't see it. It was like, so within the observer, they
I believe Ron has a picture of Newton Grove police officer drew, and it's the
exact same thing that you saw.
That I saw.
Now, how far away is Newton Grove from the spot where you were? Where is Newton Grove at?
Newton Grove is about, 80 miles from
Probably
here?
80 miles. So,
Clarence County.
Where were you at when you saw it? Approximately. We were, I was out in City Limits, on outskirts of City Limits.
How far away from you would it have been, do you reckon, at this?
I played it 200 yards, 200 to 300 yards, something like that.
What, over the roadway or off?
No, off to the right. Did you stop the car?
Yeah.
And you did it all. And all right, now, did you hear any sound? Did you hear nothing there? And did that make you a little more curious about what you were looking at?
sure did.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a curious.
Yeah.
And was it moving at that stage?
It was hovering. Now, when it did move fast, or did it just float? It was going really fast.
How long would it have been hovering when you were looking at it? A couple of minutes?
Well, when I first got a glimpse of it, it was off from a distance, and I tried to get up closer to it when I first stopped the car and got out. It stood there for, I guess, anywhere from 5 even seconds there. It didn't stay there long when I stopped.
Did it vanish like that, or did you see it move away?
I seen it move away, but it was very quickly. It go in a horizontal position.
Hey, Ron, it's that leader.
What do you think it was? I mean, could it have been an aircraft?
I don't think so. What color was this plane on the top? That was a bright light. That's the front of it. Yeah. And it just come up, just turned like that. Yeah, sure. Were you in the car during the whole time? Or did you stop the car at all to get out and see it? Oh yeah, I stopped, got out, and watched me over there. Why do we do it? I'm up, I got my bed, and finally think, tell me, get this. Was you right? Did it make any noise that you could hear? Oh yeah, no dark. No photo sound at all. And did this thing have any kind of light or beam of light coming out from it at all that you could see? Not shining down, but it's right out in front of it, just like an airplane, yeah. Was it pulsating at all, or was it a constant light? It was burning. They want to blink in their own. They want to light on it. The thing is awfully quiet, huh? Yeah. How big do you think the thing was? Could you estimate? Well, it was. I don't believe it was quite as big as a small aircraft. Now, Jill Stanton said that he didn't think it was much bigger than his car. This looked a little bigger than I was sorry for me. Yeah, even not tower. I said right here on 1727. It was coming right out of it and straight down this road here. And he got near about the 301. He crossed I-35. He just turned and went back. Turned and went back towards the field.
And that's probably when Phil saw it as it was passing that way.
It turns there. It was coming right. I was sitting right in the stop sign on 301. He come right up with, well, the width of a telephone pole. He got right about the telephone pole right here on 301 and the next one down here. He just come right straight towards me that way. It didn't just turn it like it.
Could you see what it was made out of?
There you couldn't tell nothing about what it was made out of.
You could see the shape of it, though.
Yeah, you could tell it was in a V-shape. Right?
So, how many colored lights altogether?
Well, I never counted the lights on it, I think.
But how many colors? Was there a white light
Two.
and a red light?
Red and green, and then the bright light. There's three different colors. Of course, just that bright light in front of it. Well, the one right in front was just like a headlight on an automobile. It's shining right straight out in front of it. Now, somebody said they seen one shining down, but I ain't never seen it.
How long did this all take from the time you saw it to the top?
Well, now, from the time I seen it and getting after the highway north was about 8 minutes. And whenever it's turned, I started back towards Fayetteville. Well, that's when we got an automobile. We started off and we picked up sitting a mile an hour. I was right beside it, and then he started picking up speed, and I got up to 100 and it just lit into me. As the Army showed me where they got something like this and showed me how to pick it up and sound that it made, then I'll say that's what it was, but I don't say it is.
Yeah, and
It ain't no airplane.
Oh,
Now, it has these little lights.
yeah.
These little lights around me.
Okay, and
These little lights around here.
okay, and what color were they? All the same, or did they alternate?
Well, they were red and green.
They were red and green.
Different colors.
Now, when you were watching it, did they seem to go on and off, or were they sort
Of course, they didn't blink them either. That's what I say. They just stayed on.
They did
They
fair.
didn't blink it up. I just wished it'd land. Let me go do it, see what it is. It isn't bank very big. If it's a bank, I could have seen under it, too. But it just turned.
It was a bright white on amber light. This was appeared to be a treetop level. I observed it through binoculars. Looking, well, I would describe it, I was traveling south and I was looking more like a northeasterly, easterly direction. And this bright white, the amber light was illuminating the perimeter. It was so brilliant, if there was any running lights along the perimeter of it, it was drowning them out or they would blow the trees up. This was seen about a minute and a half before I saw it, and rolling by a rolling city policeman, which is 15 to 20 miles south of us, and a minute and a half after I saw it by an officer, same call, 10 miles north, and they were describing exactly the same 5 mile spot.
Well, the people in the kid 55 miles an hour. You come about running that day. I was running about 55 on it. It came down. The old, they say that shit was dark. Yeah, no. The whole, both sides of the road lit up and it looked like it was daylight. And section where we all right here, that's where I'm at right now. And I travel along. There's a trailer park's couple of buildings about 300 yards. I travel along the edge and I pulled over and I stopped. Stopped my trailer park, got out and looked up with there and the light was a cloud. I had to look back and I reached back in the car and I got those knockers I had in the car and I looked up at it. And then I got an airplane landing light that came off the gold car and I shined it up at it. And I think the light at it hit up. It blinked back. I take another look at it. It looked at it with the knocker. Then it moved and it went and it went toward Lumberton. And as it moved away from me, I followed it about 2 miles. The route went out of sight.
And how fast when you said it was going left?
I got up to 85 and 90 and it walked it was at 11.
Right, how high was it this time?
He did time, they did that, went up in there, back up about, so way up, about, I'd say, well, when it left me, it started with I still out there flashed the light. I pressed the light on it, went up, just straight up in there, and then went out, moved out about it. Out there a good 200 mile an hour because it just walked right away from me.
Chief, when you first observed the object, did it come from any particular direction, or did it rise from the street?
It come right down over, right down on top of it, like it's supposed to hit the car. And that's up full of those.
How close would you say it got to you?
About 200 feet.
Then you did get a good look at it,
I got a good look at it.
Describe the craft for me.
It was a C shape. Had light all the way around it with this big light. Lived to be about the size of a double the size of a tail wheel of a car that was down the beam of the light. It would light up. It was about, I'd say, at least 500 feet on both sides of the road. It just lit up in a circle. I say,
did it make any sound at all?
not a bit. And anything. Yeah.
Did it at any time just stop and hover in midair?
Just this one time that it stopped while I was on top of his face, stopped about 5 minutes.
So you don't think it could have been a jet or any kind of aircraft like that?
Jet can't park there. Where's jet can park there? I could jet 25, 200 feet. You can't fly 200 feet to start with. You could get the freeze off.
So you are positive it wasn't any kind of conventional aircraft then?
And it was not no aircraft. Not that we have. I saw a lot of them, but I've never gone to thing like that. And it was not a helicopter. If it had been a helicopter, I would you saw the propellers on it. It's on that.
What caused you to blink your light at it?
I thought I'd think to see if it was someone in it, if they'd blink it back at me.
I was heading south on 1166, which is near my home. In fact, I was on my way to have lunch or supper when we spotted the craft to the northeast. I immediately gave pursuit and soon overtook the craft. It hovered along beside the roadway approximately 100 yards away. As it was dark, I stepped outside of the vehicle and with my right arm pushed the light switch and switched the lights on and off, and sure enough I got a response from the front headlight or a spotlight from the vehicle having 2 spotlights on it, one on the front and one on the back. It then proceeded to move in a southwesterly direction, and I turned around to give pursuit again. It was soon lost sight of the craft as it disappeared behind trees. I must say this, that I did get within 100 yards of the craft and was able to get it to signal back to me with its front headlight. Being 100 yards away, there's no possibility that it would have been mistaken for a Bell aircraft or any other man-made aircraft for that matter. I have never seen anything like it before.
Well, we were on Philadelphia Road headed north and just driving along at an ordinary speed, and I was driving the car, and I was the first one to see it. I observed what I thought to be 5 big lights, I would say, or guess to be about 100 feet in the air. And the moment I focused my eyes on them, it appeared that they were maybe going at a speed of about 50 miles an hour, and then they speeded up like 100 miles an hour. And I went to telling my wife and 2 daughters to look and see those lights, and they did. And momentarily, I'd taken my eyes back off of them to make a turn, a right-hand turn, and my wife and daughter, they kept their eyes focused on it, and they observed it going. It was in a downward position, like headed towards the ground, and we followed it, and it went down behind a house, and I would say 16 to 24 inch streak behind them, behind each one of them. I couldn't determine if there was smoke, but it didn't appear to be smoke behind each one of them. It didn't even look like a flame. It was just a beautiful streak behind each one of them. And we had church at 6:30, and it was 5:15 at that time, and I thought by the time we could get home and get dressed, it would be time for church. But obviously we ran into something we didn't anticipate running into. These people, they don't tell you if come up with any kind of little story. It's got to be something that excites you whenever you see something like this. I really don't think
they, at any time, the trees even bothered them. I think they were high up enough, and I think that they were in a position to totally miss the trees in the house that we talked about.
Got a big light in the center of it. And that light is as bright as anything that I have ever seen. Yeah, like bright as, I've never seen a light as bright as, I've seen searchlights for on airports, right? But I've never seen a light as bright as that thing. Where did that light shine? It was shining right down towards the ground.
Okay, and what color were all of these lights?
Different color lights. There was blue lights, there were red lights, there's all different color lights on it. They just have no sound whatsoever.
Now, how did you determine that? Like, did you go outside at all?
No, I was sitting here. I was sitting in the building here when the cleaning thing come up there.
But did you go out at all? Is it to see if you could get like a closer look at it?
Oh yeah, I went outside there and I couldn't hear a thing on it. We got a system right there. If there's any noise at all, I hear it pick it up.
Oh really?
Right. It'll pick it up. An automobile crosses that bridge down yonder. Anybody walks by down back of that plant down yonder, that'll pick it up.
Well, you mean you've got microphones set up down there that pick this up and then transfer the sound back here?
Right. I just walked right out here in this driveway.
Yeah.
When I saw the thing.
Where was it coming from?
It came from back in here towards the CS95 highway back in here, and someone told me they traveled that 95 or something.
Uh-huh.
They come across here, raised a canal right down here to the back of this plant down here.
Yeah.
And that's where he was at. He just was above the treetops. I thought he was touching the treetops.
Yeah.
No sound whatsoever. No, it came right up down here, and it just looked like it just come up there and stopped there for a little bit.
Over what? Over the building over here?
Well, right going by the corner of this building where you see out the light in front of that front office.
Yeah.
He was just beyond here over there.
Right.
He looked like he just came up there and stopped. And sat there for a little bit, and then he started moving up and over, and I never seen nothing move like they move. An airplane can't come up there and do that, or a helicopter, neither one, without me hearing it.
Now, tell me what happened when the lights went out. When was that?
It happened 2 nights. That thing came back close 2 different nights, on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Both times it came from the same direction, and it went back across the same directions as it came from. All of these lights here on the front of the plant there, that's the lights that went out.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights here. Now, where are these lights powered from? Like, are they powered by the same source that these lights over here?
Same lights that those are down here. Were they're still burning.
They were still on?
They were still on. Those was out.
And yet they're all powered by the same source?
That's right. The light stayed out as long as that thing was hovered down there, and when it left, the lights came back on. I said at least 5 minutes they were out there. But it was just as plain as this object you got in your hand here.
Yeah.
Sitting right out there. I guess if it hadn't been touching the treetops, it didn't miss much, because it was right down on them. Yeah, if it was in a plane, I would have heard it. A helicopter, it comes up there and stops, it's going to make a noise. The motor's got to run to hold it up there in the air. And that thing did not have no noise whatsoever.